Get strong.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 5 of the Spike Lemonade podcast. I'm your host, Josh Donato, here today doing my first solo episode, which should be pretty sweet. As you can see, I'm burnt. I spent the weekend in Jacksonville. Traveled there Thursday, got back late last night. Was there for the Jacksonville Florida Open for the first tournament of the season. Was a major success. Was beautiful. The weather was nice. I mean, you're in Florida in, what are we in, April? Really can't beat it because the weather here in New Jersey is cold and annoying. Went there on my own. I'm not going to do too much of a recap here because in the next episode I'm getting together with two of my buddies to recap a little bit more of the contender division in Jacksonville and talk about sort of what happened with me down there, results, things to build on heading to Richmond. The grind continues, but again, if you want some more information on what happened with me and my partner in Jacksonville in the contender division, tune into episode 6. For tonight, I thought it'd be cool. I still want to do a preseason breakdown of some teams and what everyone has to offer for 2023, but I was there and got to see a lot of the action in the premier field because we took some time in between games, being that it was like 97 degrees. So saw a lot of the action and was impressed by a handful of players there on the day. And where do we start? Let's start here. Let's start with Mr. Kieran Rose. Pool play. Undefeated. Don't know much about his partner, but know that Kieran has been on the absolute grind this offseason, and it has shown. Looking really strong. Taking down Clean Combo, Glizzy Gladiators, a name that pains me to say. 2 other teams too. And going undefeated in pool play really is an insanely good result. Kieran, shout out to you, man. So love the content that you put out too with your highlight videos, all things considered. Just a really freaking awesome result for you, bro. And I don't even remember what seed you got here heading into the bracket play, but I can tell you because I have it pulled up. What seed were you? I guess it doesn't really matter. But undefeated, seed number 5, first tournament of the year, premier, looking sharp, serves looking sharp from your highlight video, and then from what little I saw, you play fairly clean, so I didn't really, not much to say there, but okay, so let's get to the day. Clean Combo on the day saw all of their semis, saw all of one of their pool play games and a little bit of their round, their quarters against the Team Bot House. Didn't know Bot House was that good. Taller of the 2 guys, Owen something. Electric, going to be a great player this season. Clean Combo, semifinal, bang. Let's jump in. Playing Christian Bennett, Noah Luskis. Another team name that's just so corny, I just can't do it. I just can't say it. But you guys balled out this weekend. Props to you. Clean Combo. Everyone picked you to win this. You're kind of chalky. I think that the morning line odds on you guys to win this thing were about maybe 3 to 5, 4 to 5. Personally, going into the day, because I talked to a handful of people here that I play with locally in New Jersey, my pick to win it all was in system for the day. I just felt like they were going to be dangerous. Tournament 1, I saw obviously we didn't get a full field of all the best players, but it was still obviously solid. What can I say about Clean Combo? Didn't see game 1 in which they won. Saw game 2, that Bennett and Luskus won. Played solid. And let's just jump right in. For those of you who haven't seen, one of the craziest moments in live round net I've ever seen. You have Rahul and Ryan up 20-16. Game 3, about to send. I can't say it. I gotta say it. I can't do it with these names. Sending Mermaid Sparkle packing. Up 20-16. If you haven't seen it, there is a feed on someone's Twitch. I can't remember the Twitch. I pulled a few clips from it though, so I should know it. Burroughs Twitch, where you can see this game. I highly recommend checking it out. In this game, 20-16, Rahul Murthy steps up to the line. Last year was a part of, and the year before, the team named Double Clutch. A lot of the reason their team was Double Clutch was because of his ability to close out games in spots just like this. And it was kind of strange. I mean, obviously, like, this game, you're still trying to have fun. And you're still trying to enjoy yourself. Obviously, they want to win. But he attempts, I don't even know which way he stepped, but like a wraparound, tried to hit like a wraparound backhand ace to send, like, almost like, sort of like embarrass them off for the win, I guess. First serve, up 20-16, fault. Second serve, tries it again, fakes it, pulls back around and tries to rip a cut, hits the rim. So obviously now it's 17-20. Give the ball to the kid Christian Bennett. The game should be over. It's pretty much like Mariano Rivera, if you're a Yankees fan, walking out in the bottom of the ninth, up 2 innings. The game's over. And Mr. Bennett just reached way into the bag. And, like, I don't know, man. It was next level stuff. Like, it was crazy. First couple serves, I don't know if it was on first, second. The first time he served the ball, 17-20. He rips an ace, reverse cut. Don't remember on who. Boom, 18-20 now after his first possession. At 18-20, I think the second time serving for him was against Rahul. Don't remember if it was a reverse or a clean cut. Either way, ace. Third possession, ball was got up off of his serve. Big body touch by Noah at the net. Clean put away. No, it wasn't a clean put away. I'm sorry. Rahul has a chance to set it back over the net to Ryan to finish the game. Can't do it. He then proceeded to hit the ground as hard. I don't know how all the knuckles in his hand didn't break, but more power to you. The dude's a badass, so what are we worried about? So, picks up with the game. Where does that leave us? 20s, maybe? I forget exactly how it happened. He rattles off one more ace to level the game at 20-20. Another ace, 21-20. Ryan and Rahul call timeout. Go back and watch the feed. Go back and watch the Twitch. At this point in time in the game, they call their timeout, and this is interesting. This was kind of cool. As opposed to them going, regrouping, sitting there going like, all right, let's relax. We're fine. We're here. We're okay. Instead, it was Ryan's serve receive, and what they did was they had Rahul stand there and smack some left-handed cuts at Ryan. This is crazy. The last serve he hits he hit about 6 while they're just standing there like, all right, Christian's a left-handed player. He's going to be hitting a lefty cutter reverse. Let me hit a few on you here. The last one Rahul hits is a nasty lefty cut and no-touch aces Ryan. And so, like, they're so out of sorts at this point in time. You can see, like, they're crumbling. And it was tough to watch because I was rooting for them, to be honest. No offense. But, and as soon as in the little timeout session, Rahul rips the serve and aces him with a practice serve, I was like, oh, shit, they're in trouble. And yeah, would you know it, Christian Bennett steps up to the line and rips a lefty cut and ends the game, and they win it 22-20 in one of the most dramatic endings to a game. 5 straight breaks at 17-20 versus Ryan and Rahul, 2 of maybe the top 5 players that play this game. It was an insane performance by the young man. It was inspirational. I'm over here stuttering. It was crazy. But take you to semifinal number 2. I have to give a shout out to my brother Jake Modderhead. We talked about this matchup. I figured this matchup would come at some point in time. The in-system versus Max Modell and Dan Abrams. Jake thought that Max Modell and Abrams would win that, and I quote, because Jake, he's a real pain in the ass. Abrams and Modell win that, and I think they win that quite comfortably. Sorry, bro. Blake Bosak, which this episode is about to take a pivot towards Mr. Blake, brand new Cobra Kai Bosak, as he now is sporting a headband, and he's just taking people's souls, like strike first, you know what I'm saying? Dude was on another level this weekend, and Jake and I got into a conversation too today about Blake and kind of where he fits in the overall like top 20, 15, 10, and so on. We don't see eye to eye on that either, which is fine. Blake Bosak absolutely decimated this team. And again, the scores are 22-20 and 21-18 in system over Modell and Abrams, because Modell and Abrams are insanely talented and incredible defenders, 2 of the top 5 defenders, I'd say, maybe in the game. The games on paper look closer than they actually were. And you may say, oh, well, what are you talking about? It's hard to explain unless you were there. The games were just not... It just was like one of those games where you just felt like it was over. Like, game 2, I think that Dan Abrams scored a couple in a row and was trying to get the crowd into it and hype, which I really thought that was badass. And like, those guys are cool, man. So if they would have come back, it's all good. But it just always felt like they were... I don't know. They were just playing lights out. Blake Bosak just like steps up, smashes serves. And I think Etienne, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to go with Etienne as the pronunciation. So if it's wrong, it's going to be wrong the whole time. Is a decent compliment to Blake Bosak because he brings a certain level of consistency. Even though he's not as lethal of a server as his, aforementioned partner with Wonky Sauce, he's like a little bit more consistent with his defensive ability. And again, maybe it's like splitting hairs a little bit, but I don't know. I like the 2 of them together. After game 1 versus Modell and Abrams, they got off to the sideline together, and we were sitting over this way. That's the only reason why I know. And at the end, pulls him aside, and they were fired up. He goes, listen, man, like, we're setting clean. We're killing. You're hitting serves. I'm hitting serves. We are in system. And it was like, yeah, he was right. They were. They played him really solid. So then you go to the finals. Blake Bosak and in system sort of cooled off a little bit in the finals. I'm going to try and break these clips in, but I don't know how like annoying I want to be with these. There's like 2 or 3 clips. I think I'm definitely going to include 1. If so, I'll drop it right about here. I
don't know why the camera's freaking pulsing.
Come on. Nice. Great set.
Oh, what an up. That's good.
Yep.
Shots bad.
Okay, so you've seen that clip. I don't think it was a rim. And I saw it live. I was sitting about 25 feet from it, and you can just hear it. So just listen back again if you want. Rewind that, listen. I don't think it was a rim. And Bosak, like, not really much of a complainer. So he kind of just, like, keeps on pushing. I don't know. And then there was another clip too, but I think the more I think about it, I'm not gonna like blast the pod with clips. But there was another point too where maybe I'll drop it at the end. So if you're here, skip to the end to see this clip, where there's a very, very quick no-hit zone infraction called on Etienne, and you can point blank see him readjust his feet, get outside of the no-hit zone. So, like, and again, I'm not trying to, like, bash on the observers because it's a difficult job, but the no-hit zone violation, I feel like, should be fairly obvious to make that call and stop the stop play. And I don't know. I didn't love the call, and if you go back and watch the clip, which, again, I'll throw at the end, it just wasn't obvious. His left foot was in. He resets his feet. Ball comes. He kills. And if they're calling it on his right foot in the play, the observer that made the call, if the net is here, Etienne performs the hit on this 25% of of the net, and the observer is standing here. So it's almost just as if like he'd have to be looking through the net and the left side of his body to make that call on his right foot. So it clearly wasn't. He was calling it on the left foot. He even comes in and like marks the spot. And you watch the clip back, he'd be like. So it's an annoying debate, but it's just like with that call in that moment in the finals, it's hazy too. Like the lights hadn't get powered up yet. It's a bold call for me to make. And I still think that I don't think it would have changed the game. I think that Mermaid Sparkle ultimately, God, I can't do it. I can't do the name. They were the better team, I think, in all, more consistent, both landing serves, both going on runs of their own, and Blake sort of cooled off a little bit. So, props to them. Full disclosure, I had a cool back and forth with Blake today. Was talking to him a little bit as I got some ideas together for the pod. Man, I can't say enough good things about that kid, Blake Bosak, man. He's a stud, and like the way he plays is so like entertaining and explosive. Like when you watch a Max Modell and you're just like, yeah, I'm in for a treat. Like, dude's about to be all over the place. A show of athleticism and coordination and all this stuff. Like, Blake Bosak is similar, not the same, but similar in that you are about to get a show. Just sit back and watch the hype. Etienne pump him up. Some insane serves. Speed. Like, he's a real deal, man. I'm looking forward to seeing him play more. So what I'm going to try and do after each tour stop that I go to, I'm going to try and highlight a player and have some sort of back and forth with them, and then sort of relay the information that I get in that back and forth and kind of pick their brain a little bit. And that's kind of what I want to do here. This pod's not going to be very long. I kind of covered everything I wanted to. I wanted to talk about the Rahul play, on him kind of not like finishing his food, like don't play with your food at the dinner table. Like, Rahul, don't play with your food, bro. Just finish the job. Just get him up on out of there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to touch on the Bennett, absolutely the most clutch move I've ever seen. I've been to now like 10 live tournaments. It was the most clutch, like God mode move I've seen, which was really cool to see and see it live. From a really like good sport and like a good player too. So props to you. Like, really, really played well. And yeah. So but I really wanted to touch on Blake Bosak because like they didn't drop a game all day until they got to the finals, and like, I don't know, dude. He has something different. He's got a different something with him this season. I know he played good last year, like when he and Max linked up in Ohio. It was like a good run. There's something different about him this year, and I'm not sure what it is. Obviously, there's some off-season grind. So again, I'm kind of rambling a little bit here, but my player of the tournament, I'm giving an award to a player. And again, I know I just highlighted the Christian Bennett moment, which was like really, if I had to single out a moment, Bennett takes it without a shadow of a doubt. But if I had to highlight the player of the tournament for me, it's Blake Bosak. Blake Cobra Kai Bosak. Just was like a dope performance. Was really cool too after they lost. Like, I'm running back I grab my shoes. He's coming back in like to grab some of his stuff, probably to peel out. I mean, they had just freaking lost. And like I gave him like a fist bump, like, dude, good stuff. Like, that's a tough one, man. And he, even in that moment, which I would have been like, get away from me, dude. He was just like, yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks, bro. So it was just like cool. So here we go. I reach out to Blake Bosak. We had a cool back and forth. And I wanted to pick his brain a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him. I'm not going to ask him. I already freaking did. I asked him a few questions, and I wanted to see sort of where his head was, where his head is in systems goals for the season, and sort of thoughts from this weekend. Because, again, he's my player of the weekend without a shadow of a doubt. No doubt. And I saw, like, a little bit of his pool play, but I saw, like, 3 rounds of the bracket play. Okay, so question number 1 for Mr. Bosak. Heading into Jacksonville tour stop, was in system seeing this as a real opportunity to win, not just podium. Blake let me know. Heading into Jacksonville tour stop, Etienne and I did want to start the year off with with a great performance, with a first place finish, if not a podium. I'm very happy with how we performed outside the second game of the finals. But now we have some things to improve on going into upcoming tournaments such as the Salt Lake City Major. So basically, outside of Game 2 of the finals, he pretty much made it seem like he was happy with how they played on the day, maybe living up to their expectations on the day, which I thought sort of was what he would say. Question number 2. All right, beyond some dominant serving, this focuses on their semifinal match specifically. Beyond some dominant serving, what do you think is key to taking down a team that is so defense first, defense power driven, like a Modell and Abrams semifinals? I wanted to know because they handled them pretty well. And I don't know, I wanted to know if he would say, like, going into a matchup like that, I need 7 aces in 2 games to beat them. Or what he was going to say. That was sort of what I was fishing for. So this was his answer. Serving pressure will go hand in hand with defensive breaks. So a lower percentage of double faults was crucial for success against a defensive team like them. Serve, receive, and setting was also a highly important factor that played into our victory. Setting was important for putting the ball away, and serve receive was crucial to be able to always be in system. See what you did there. But it makes sense. So essentially, as opposed to saying, like, I know I needed X number of aces, it was, let's keep the pressure on them and keep them having to make solid holds and allow us to stay in system, which is pretty much what they did. That was just like a really strong semifinal performance from them. The performance of the day, the best I'd seen anyone play the whole day. Okay, question 3. Did you watch the serving run / finish of the semifinal? And if so, what did you think of the 5 clutch holds in a row in order to secure the W? He said, I did watch a bit of the serving run. Rahul had a chance to end it, but double faulted off a backhand serve. And Christian took advantage of it. Again, that's like, I didn't try and pull that out of him, and that's interesting. He says, he goes on to say, but Rahul and Ryan underestimated the Mermaids, and they paid for it. Not sure if they called a timeout to freeze Christian, but that would have been the best move. So, they underestimated the Mermaids, and they paid for it. So, I don't know what the chances are that either a Ryan or a Rahul listen to this pod, but if you do, somebody tag them in this. I want to know if a part of you did. And I'm not saying that necessarily leads to you trying versus not trying. No one wants to get aced. No one doesn't try. But in terms of like the mental game, I wonder if you went into it thinking, because I do it now at playing it even at the lower levels. I'll go into a game like, I can't lose this game. Like, even if I just play so-so, we're going to win this game like 21-18. I wonder if they did. They underestimated them, and they paid for it. He's a badass, I told you. Not sure if they called a timeout. They did call the timeout, but trying to freeze him was the best move. They tried to freeze him, but he's the Iceman. The Iceman cometh, so they ain't freezing shit. Number 4. As you think back on the finals, was there anything you could pinpoint as a turning point / a point in the match that the momentum really shifted? So I wanted to know, like, in the finals, was there ever like that oh shit moment? Like, this is slipping away. He let me know that he felt our match started off strong in the first set, but at 19-19, when Christian got the ace against Etienne, I felt like the whole energy of the game shifted. And it's pretty much exactly what I thought, because I was there that game. And I just remember at that point in time being like, I thought that In-System was going to run through them, to be completely honest. But at that point in time, when he aced them, and I remember sitting next to my teammate for the Jacksonville tour stop, and I was just like, what do you think? How do you feel about this here? And he was just reading the room, and he was just like, he's gonna ace him right here. And it was on like second serve too, I believe. And yeah, man, he did. He was in a different world. And 2, this is another little tidbit too. Like, I don't see a lot of parents at these events, and I don't know if he lives in the area or whatnot, but I think that the Bennett kid's dad was there, and it's like, I thought that was kind of cool for him to show out like that, like with like some sort of family there, maybe friends. I'm not sure, but like I definitely thought that was badass, man. So cheers to you. You really like showed out there in the finals. Definitely deserve MVP, even with Noah's fantastic run at the end to sort of seal the deal, so to speak. Christian Bennett, MVP of the finals. Blake Bosak, MVP of the tournament, in my mind. And most valuable player, most dominant player, maybe MDP. I don't know. But listen, all in all, it was a super awesome event. Shout out to Florida RoundNet, who always seems to show up and bring some good energy. Shout out to Dom Orlando. He did a great job, like, organizing things, keeping things running smoothly. Did a fantastic job. Shout out to my title RoundNet friends that were there. Ethan played really well, got himself a nice Premier W. Ethan Groover and Morgan Bruce and my pal Liz Gormley teamed up under the team named Cutting Up and finished 5th in the women's advanced. Fantastic. They played really good, and it was great seeing you guys down there. Final shout out, really, and I want to hammer this home. Jacksonville tournament Premier Division Player of the Day, Blake Bosak. Every time he steps up to play, it is a show. Like, even when we were going back and forth a little bit, he's like, dude, like, thanks for reaching out. When I first reached out, he's like, yeah, thanks, man. Like, I just really wanted to put on a show. And I was like, yeah, man. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And he did. And dude, I appreciate you taking the time to chop it up a little bit and just talk about the tournament, talk about, like, what's coming next for you guys. I think he said they'll be in Ohio next, in terms of things here on the East Coast for the local guys that want to compete against them. And yeah, I hope that I'm playing Premier at that point in time too, and could get a match against those guys and see them, continue on. It was just fun. It was a great weekend. So again, to recap, Kieran Rose, fantastic performance to go undefeated in pool play. Obviously, you're one of my bros. It was cool to see you there too. Awesome job. You look fantastic. You look sharp. Keep on it. Rahul, obviously you're a beast, bro, but like, just put the nail in the coffin next time, bro. Just put the nail in the freaking coffin. Come on. Christian Bennett, they left the door creaked open. You took the opportunity, smashed it open. The most clutch moment I've seen in a live event. That was awesome. And last but not least, Blake Bosak. Thanks for taking the time, bro. I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of this season. Good luck to you and your teammate, Etienne. Hope that's the right way to say it. Best of luck to you both. This has been Spiked Lemonade Pod Solo, Episode 5, coming to you live here from New Jersey. It's not live at all. This is recorded. But yeah, appreciate y'all. I'm out.
What the heck?